Yo, what's going on, guys? It's Houston Sports Talk back in the video today. And the Cleveland Cavaliers have signed Danny Green, shooting guard, who was bought out by my favorite team, the Houston Rockets, earlier this morning. Danny Green, who was on the Memphis Grizzlies upon the trade deadline and made his season debut on February 1st, but did not play at all most of the regular season because of a torn ACL that happened in May in the playoffs for the 76ers. So he did not play. He did not play most of the season. Made his Grizzlies debut on February 1st, played 3 games with them, scored like 9 points in those 3 games in like 40 minutes with like 3 rebounds and like 1 assist, and shot like 30% or something from 3 in those 3 games. Or no, he shot like 50 something percent from 3, but it was only in like a couple attempts. So, but I mean, yeah, then he gets involved in a 3-team trade that involves my favorite team, the Rockets. Gets sent with John Wall in a pick swap to Houston. Luke Kennard goes to Memphis, and Eric Gordon goes to L.A. It hasn't happened yet, but John Wall's plan to be waived. Danny Green and the Houston Rockets have agreed to a contract buyout earlier this morning, and Danny did not take too much time to decide who he was going to go, who he was going to sign with. He was down to the Cavs and the Celtics. I personally thought that he would sign with the Celtics because we've known Danny Green as a guy who's, I'm not gonna, throw out, any shots there, but we've sort of, known Danny Green to be the guy who's kind of been a ring chaser. I wouldn't say a ring chaser, but Danny Green has always wanted to play on a championship contender. I'm not saying the Cavs can be a championship contender, because they definitely have a great talented team, but I just think like at the Cavs, I think they could definitely win a playoff round. For sure, I could definitely see them going to the second round. But if the Cavs match up against either the Celtics or what I'm trying to say here is that if the Cavs match up against either the Celtics or the Bucks in the second round, they're screwed. And I could barely even doubt if they can beat Philly in the second round either. So in that case, I just, he's always been a guy who's been on, championship contenders. He's with Spurs for 9 seasons. They were never bad when he was there. Always went to the playoffs. Then he goes to the Raptors, his only year there. They win a championship. Then he goes to the LA Lakers. His only year there, they win a championship. Then he goes to the Philadelphia Sixers. Then he goes to the Philadelphia 76ers. And his 2 seasons there, both second round. And then the Grizzlies was not an outcome because no playoff series with them. So he's always been a guy who's been on, like really contenders. Like, I like the Cavs. I like their team. I like D. Mitch. Donovan Mitchell's a great player. I like their young system's great. It's just they need some more time. And the next season, after the season, I could see them starting to be like championship contenders. But I think as of right now, I just don't, see this Cavaliers team being a championship contender. Just how powerful the East is right now with Giannis and the Bucks and Tatum and the Celtics. And honestly, in the 76ers with Harden and Embiid as well. So I thought for sure Danny was going to go to the Celtics, but he ended up signing a 1-year, $2 million deal with the Cavs instead. And honestly, that's what the Cavs need. They need bench depth. They need shooting. Yes, well, they have the bench depth. They just need some bench production. They have... Honestly, with the talent-wise that they have one of the best benches in the NBA. They just they're not efficient. They don't product well. Look at some of the guys on their bench. You got Kevin Love, you got Karis LeVert, and you got Ricky Rubio. These guys sometimes are not just having, sometimes these guys are not having good games at all. Kevin Love can go one night, have a great shooting night, and then barely do anything. Score 0 points. Last night in the Cavs game, Karis LeVert, a guy who he's even scored like 40-something points this season, scores 1 point. So I think some of the guys that are on the Cavaliers bench are very inefficient, and Danny Green's not really a guy who's, he's going to keep playing the same way. He's not a guy who's going to have, he might have one bad night, but he's going to consistently play well. And so I like the addition. They need some better shooting. They needed to improve their shooting. They needed to improve their bench. Their benches, they're with, yes, they have a lot of talent off the bench. That's not the question here. Talent, through with LeVert, Love, Rubio, even if you want to include Jenny Osman with that list, their talent off the bench is incredible. They just don't play well. I mean, if you look at, the Cavs have been one of the worst teams of scoring-wise off the bench this season. Should add Danny Green to that, a good shooter, when you kind of needed to add a little bit to shooting. I love the addition for the Cavs. And, he could be a decent, player for them in the playoffs and in this final stretch. So I really like the addition for both sides. And, listen, I'm not upset about it as a Rockets fan either. I know we basically traded Eric Gordon for just a pick swap that can only be jumping 5 to 10 picks, but we also cleared some cap space. So as a Rockets fan, I'm not too mad about it. But yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how Danny Green does. And also, he played with the Cavs early in his career, I believe. He wasn't drafted by the Spurs. I believe he was drafted by the Cavs. I'm not too sure on that, but I believe he was drafted by the Cavs. If not, that was the team he was on before he went to the Spurs. But that's funny. Another player, this is not in the trade. This is not in the trades, but another player returning back to their old team. So many players returning back to their old teams. And Danny Green gets added to that list. You guys let me know your thoughts on the signing. That's it for the video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and peace out.